Before we get into today's Cowboys report, we are actually tied with Bears Now for subs this month. That is right. We both have 1,911. Let's take the lead today. Get more free Cowboys videos, including those from the NFL Combine this coming week, by hitting that sub button for free right now. Let's begin with latest on the Micah Parsons contract talks, or lack thereof, which may or may not end up being a big deal. I think we'll know pretty soon, though. The Dallas Morning News reports the Cowboys and Micah Parsons have yet to have real contract talks as Micah enters the fifth year and final year of his rookie deal. Now, I will make note, Micah did already tell us this, and we mentioned this previously on the show. It's worth going over it again. And then amplified by, again, no new contract talks from the DMN report, Calvin Watkins. Here's what Micah said on his podcast. There's definitely a plan in place, but we'll just see how everything plays out. There's been no progress yet, but I'm pretty confident something will happen, so we'll see. The news of Micah not having contract talks yet with the Dallas Cowboys isn't really a massive red flag for me. I don't panic on that front, at least for the time being. The NFL Combine is coming this week. It will kind of begins now to an extent, but really get going Monday and then all the way through Sunday. And those late nights, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, the drills, even after the drills, Thursdays, Fridays, that is when the Cowboys need to sit down and meet with Micah Parsons' agent. That is how most teams handle these bigger contracts. Every now and then you see a deal get done early, like Elijah Molden and the Chargers. But, the Chargers weren't doing a coaching search. The Cowboys were, so I'm giving them a little bit more grace than maybe I would otherwise. The Cowboys need to sit down with Micah Parsons at the Combine with his agent and get a deal at least going, get progress on it. The Cowboys didn't do that last year. In fact, they did not even try to get deals done with their big players. Let's recap, what we learned at the Combine last year. The Tyron Smith deal was very funny because we were there at the Combine. Talking to people, it's out like, okay, there's a chance this deal gets done. We'll see how it goes. And then 12 hours later, the next day it fell apart. They met with Tyron's agent at the Combine. They lowballed him, and he chose to leave to the Jets. It didn't. Those kind of talks did not go where. They were better with Pollard, but Pollard got more on the open market, so it just wasn't enough in the end. But most impactful, the Cowboys did not speak with Lamb's agent, did not speak with Dak's agent at the Combine. That was a huge red flag. Because I had literally talked to somebody the day before. It's like, yeah, it's weird they're not saying that they are because that's an obvious thing to do. And then it's like, oh, they're not meeting, period. That was the red flag of that deal was not going to get done on time. If they don't meet with Micah at the Combine this year, or his agent at least, that's a huge red flag for me. I have my doubts on this one. But will the Cowboys pay Micah Parsons before free agency? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Now, on that question of Micah getting paid before free agency, Micah's brother said he didn't think so. Did not feel good about that one. And the vibes are not great about it in general, which can change come Combine time. A competent NFL organization works hard at getting a Micah Parsons deal done before free agency. That is what a properly run organization would do. It was committed to winning games in 2025. It would free up to $18 million this upcoming offseason. It might not be all 18, maybe it's only 13, 14. Still, that's a lot of money. You can then add more talent. Micah has made public comments about wanting to get a deal done early so they can re-sign, pay other players. He's right on that. My big question is this for the Cowboys. Have you learned your lesson from last year and previous years? Or does this get dragged out into August? Does this not have great contract talks and the trade rumors continue to just kind of circle around and they exist because things don't go away and they don't have a deal done yet? I have my doubts. I would love to be proven wrong by the Cowboys organization and for them to say, you know what? No, we're being silly. Let's get this deal done and with urgency and save us a couple $1 million per year. Will they? Well, we'll know more within the next week with how things are actually going there. Today's show is made possible by Tushy Bidet. Tushy is the modern bidet attachment that instantly transforms your bathroom habits and butt health for life. Instead of wiping yourself raw with toilet paper, Tushy gently removes 99% of bacteria while protecting your natural skin barrier thanks to one natural ingredient. It's fresh water. Tushy has 2 ultra-sleek bidet seats, the Wave and the Oasis, with front and rear wash to clean all those hard-to-reach places. The Tushy Wave and Oasis bidets easily attach to your existing toilet without the need for additional plumbing or electricity, and they have a quick release button to remove the seat for instant deep cleaning. Installation is simple. It takes 10 minutes to complete, and anyone can do it. Tushy Bidet gives you 2-in-1 benefits, reducing irritation and preventing micro tears with soothing water instead of scratched toilet paper or damaging wet wipes. It's also easy to use. Sit, do your business, and turn the knob for a refreshing stream of clean water. Once you're done, pat dry with toilet paper. People who have been to Tushy use up to 80% less TP, so there's no more clogged toilets, and you're saving money and your butt at the same time. Every Hello Tushy Bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. There's still time to get your ass right for life. For a limited time, you guys get 10% off your first bidet order when you use code CHAT at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com/chat with promo code CHAT. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Let's talk 2 players who have already been cut, and could they fit for the Dallas Cowboys? First up is Sheldon Rankins. The Bengals, very much as expected, choosing to move on from Rankins. So does he fit the Cowboys? First up, almost every defensive tackle I think is worth having at least some semblance of conversation on because of what you, I guess, don't have on the roster right now. Osa Odighizuwa is a free agent. We'll see if he's back and whatnot. I think, again, we'll probably learn more at the Combine, hopefully. They should meet with his agent, too. Mozzie Smith's under contract. Then it's Denzel Daxon and Justin Rogers. And Daxon's like a year away at minimum from even being like a regular practice squad player. Probably he's kind of still gets that International Player Pathway Program boost. Rogers was on the Bengals, came back and didn't play. And you don't have any 3 techniques under contract right now, really. I don't think Daxon counts. You got 1 playable player, and that's kind of pushing it from Mozzie Smith. So Rankins is a 3 technique. That's what he's best at. This was a disaster year from Sheldon Rankins. He had 9 TFLs and 6 sacks for the Houston Texans. He played solidly. He's never been a great run stopper, although the Bengals tried to make him more of a run stopper, which I think was just a panic move if they missed out on DJ Reader. He played 7 games, had 1 sack, had an undisclosed illness that, assuming he's okay, I do have questions if that was illness or illness in air quotes, to borrow a phrase from Stephen Jones, and if it was like they just didn't want him playing anymore. He had a big roster bonus that was never going to get paid. He should be cheap. He's coming off a career worst year. He had more sacks last season than he had pressures this year, which is an insane thing to think about. And I don't recall the last time that's happening. I even played 7 games. He was a complete non-factor. So he's cheap. That fits the Cowboys mold. Hoping for a bounce back. Boy, the play last year was, I'm not looking to give him anything more than the vet minimum. That's how bad he was. He would have to probably earn a roster spot for me. Now, if you got a free agent in mind who you want to sign, you can always let us know here on the channel. Drop the name or names in the comments of today's show. Another semi-intriguing name is DeMarcus Walker, who had been released by the Bears Friday, Saturday, whichever day it was. Obvious ties to Matt Eberflus because he played with him in Chicago. Walker's numbers have been fairly consistent. I think the 7-sack season was a bit of an outlier in Tennessee, but he'll get you tackles. He'll get you 3.5, 4, 5-ish sacks over pretty much every season, and he'll get you a handful of TFLs as well. He brings good size at defensive end. He's 6'4", 280. And again, I think this is intriguing to me because you're looking to potentially replace some combination of Carl Lawson, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Chauncey Golston. I do think DeMarcus Walker can fit that mold pretty decently as kind of that base run-setting edge opposite Micah Parsons, maybe moves inside on third downs, and likely wouldn't be overly expensive and wouldn't preclude you from adding a higher impact edge if you find one in the draft or free agency. So more on this to come. But would you sign DeMarcus Walker? S for sign, P for pass. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. The Cowboys having potential interest in DeMarcus Walker after his release from the Bears would not surprise me at all. I think it's actually fairly rational for all parties involved. Now, by no means is he some elite dynamic pass rusher who's going to get you double-digit sacks. That's not who he is. But he is the type of guy that you do want to help round out your depth chart. He'll do some of the dirty work for you against the run. He will be able to be an edge setter, stop the run, not be a liability, an area the Cowboys need to have less liabilities in general. He can kick inside some on passing downs. There's the obvious Matt Eberflus connection coming over from the Chicago Bears. Given his age that he was cut, I would bet he's probably cheaper than someone like Chauncey Golston is on the open market, making him a potential stopgap replacement option and buys time for Marshawn Nealon to grow and develop some. I will say, this can't just be, we signed DeMarcus Walker, that's our big move in free agency. That needs to be like your 6th or 7th best move in the open market, including re-signing your own guys if you want to juice the numbers a little bit. But adding Walker, I could get on board with that.